Guys, today we've got sneaker prices are about to shoot up, Nike's lawsuits are just savage, and Adidas has finally gone and done it. They're creating Yeezys without the branding. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. How has your week been, guys? A couple gems actually dropped over the weekend, so let's get into a release recap before hopping into this upcoming stuff. And we're going to kick it off with the Cortez Nike Huarache. This is the light bone colorway. Honestly, I did not even know that these dropped. I had no idea, but they did on November the 22nd. I assume this was through just Cortez's website because they didn't drop through Nike sneakers. Let me know if you picked up a pair. Now, hands down, the biggest release of the weekend, of course, is the Jordan 3 Black Cements. They went out, I believe, yesterday. Yeah, the 23rd. And yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I got a little a Gotham screen, which I'm very happy about. Let me know if you managed to pick up a pair. The Bape and Adidas collaboration also dropped yesterday. I know a decent amount of people were actually excited about these, so let me know if you picked up a pair. The black and white one is actually pretty solid. And then circling it back to the Black Cement 3s for a little second, just like a lot of people predicted, including myself, people are getting pairs from the shock drop with a bunch of different quality control issues, which is something that I think you should just probably anticipate and just fingers crossed yours is fine. So this person has a picture of the stitching coming undone, which it looks like there's in multiple places. This looks like another piece of stitching, so yeah, the stitching is just all over the place. I think this isn't too bad because you could just kind of like snip it off, but the worst would be if it's different from left to right. Like the elephant print oftentimes, especially on the white cement 3s, was just completely different from right to left. That's super annoying because there's nothing you can do about that. And this one is probably the craziest thing I have ever seen, but a customer found a freaking bullet inside of their Black Cement 3 box. So this person here who made a post saying that they saw a hole in the side of the box, they opened it up and a bullet fell out of the box, which is absolutely crazy. Like, what is the story behind this? Somebody must have shot maybe a driving trailer full of Black Cement 3s, or maybe a warehouse. You can see the bullet hole in the side over here, and then this is the actual bullet, which is it's just insane. Like, what is the story behind this? I want to know. Let me know down in the comment section if you're watching this after you get your pair in, if anything was wrong with your pair of shoes, you have any quality control issues, or if you found a bullet in there. Maybe somebody else got the next shot. Either way, let's get into this upcoming stuff, and we're going to start off with a little release reminder for the Travis Scott. I don't know if they're called Jumpman Jacks anymore because they've been loaded up, and they're called the CJ1 T-Rex. So you've got a massive description of what this pair of shoes is, just basically explaining that it's built for handling the raging rigors of Travis's non-stop lifestyle as an elite performance athlete. So CJ1, I'm assuming they're calling this the Cactus Jack 1 T-Rex instead of the Jumpman Jacks, which is a little bit weird because I did kind of like the Jumpman Jacks name. I thought that was pretty cool, and I liked the way that they were going with it. Bottom line is, a bunch of different raffles have loaded up for this. You literally have you have 2 days to enter up as many different places as possible. These are going to be dropping on the 26th of November. Obviously, the Nike sneakers app is dropping then. Now, Lil Yachty also had a little release of his Air Force Ones. However, there is going to be another release, so he just dropped them, I think, a couple days ago, just exclusively on his website with some clothing. Now, the main release, which is going to be Nike sneakers, probably a bunch of different raffles as well, that's taking place on December the 2nd. So here are the official images. It's just, yeah, I know that there's a lot of drama behind this pair of shoes in terms of like a lot of people going after Lil Yachty, being like, this is not creative at all, you just slapped your logo on a pair of Air Force Ones. And I could see it from both sides. I could definitely understand that, but at the same time, I don't know why everybody's putting this expectation on Lil Yachty to do something crazy and something completely different. Like, he likes Air Force Ones, he wants to throw his logo on it. It's not like this hasn't happened a million times before, and to be honest, it could have been worse. Like this, he just previewed another colorway. I mean, this one I can kind of side with the lack of creativity just a little bit more because it's just solid white. You do have the logo on the back, but it's just, that's it. It's a white Air Force One with the logo. Now, he showed this pair off at Complex Con, so I don't know if this is an upcoming colorway or if this is just like one of the samples that he was working on to get to the final product. But nevertheless, we don't have any release dates or anything like that, so yeah, let me know where you stand on the whole Lil Yachty thing. All right, let's talk about this Yeezy news. It is absolutely wild, but I guess we should have expected this. this. So as the whole Yeezy and Adidas thing kind of happened where they ended the partnership, Adidas was very quick, I believe like a couple days later, to basically come out online and be like, we own all of the IP for these Yeezy designs and we intend to use them. They put out an entire statement basically saying that, so a lot of people were expecting the next Yeezy drop to be just modified Yeezy shoes without the Yeezy branding, because obviously Kanye still owns that. However, it is come time, 2025 is when they will be starting to do this, because this is our first looks at the Adidas Light Blaze mock. And look, I know a lot of people go after Adidas for making designs that look similar to Yeezys, but this one has gotta be the closest thing I have ever seen to a pair of Yeezys from Adidas. In fact, it kind of looks like a little bit of a combination between the Yeezy Foam Runner and the Yeezy Foam Runner V2 sample that never actually made it. So it looks like they just kind of, you know, threw both of those into a pot, mixed it around a little bit, and spit it out. Like, just take a look at this image over here, and then take a look at the pair of Yeezy Foam Runners. Like, tell me these are not damn near identical. Like, it's even got the same kind of ridges in the middle. It's got the exact same foot opening. It's got similar holes to the Foam Runners. It's got the exact same mixture effect, and it's even got the exact same colorway. Like, they've used pink and yellow and gray, just like this pair over here. So honestly, I think this should give us a really good idea of how Adidas would do those Yeezy designs. Like, it won't just literally be stripping off the Yeezy branding. They'll do some kind of slight tweaks to it, so it's essentially still the same shoe, but it's not one for one. So it's pretty crazy to see them do this, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a bunch more next year. These are going to be dropping spring 2025. Somehow we already have like official Adidas images, so maybe it dropped early in a different region, like maybe out in Asia or something like that. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this down in the comment section. And do you think Adidas is going to do more silhouettes next year? Another release that's right around the corner, we got the Ma Maniere Nike Air Force 1 Low. We've got official images. This is part of the While You Were Sleeping pack that we got the 3s and the 4s from. This is a pretty clean pair of forces. It's nice, it's luxury. Is it something that's absolutely necessary? At least for me personally, not really. But I can still appreciate it. It's just not something that I'm really going to be going crazy for. These are going to be dropping on the 29th of November, and I think if you're into the whole Ma Maniere quality craftsmanship theme, and obviously this colorway, I think it could be a pretty solid pickup. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Sticking with forces, of course, we got the Kobe's that are going to be dropping. This is coming up very, very soon. We've got official images. This is the Nike Air Force 1 Kobe Bryant black colorway. There's also going to be a white one, but this is the black one, which looks actually really, really good. I don't know if I prefer the black one. Like, I prefer the white color, but I like how the black shows this the Kobe logo a lot more. It almost looks like, and I'm gonna forget what the hell it's called, but like those steel panels that have that print in it, you know what I'm saying? Like what they did with the Type Booth Nike Dunks. Whatever that print is, that's what this kind of looks like, especially from afar. But when you like look up close, you're like, oh damn, that's the Kobe logo. It looks pretty cool. Around the back, you've got the Kobe logo as well as an embroidered jersey number 8. You got a couple different lace options to go triple black, or you've got a purple one. Now we also have the white colorway of the Kobe Bryant Air Force 1 Lows. This one doesn't have the print or like, you know, all of the Kobe logos all over the leather. However, essentially it is the same thing. Like you're getting the same Lakers colors, you're getting all of the same details where you have like the signature on the tongue. And the interesting thing is we do have a release date for this one, which is December the 6th. So I assume the black pair drops alongside it because we both have official images of that. So I would probably say that that's the preliminary release date. However, we're not entirely sure because the other one doesn't have a release date, but we'll have to wait and see. Also dropping holiday season 2024, JJJound revealed 2 New Balance 993 colorways. They're pretty solid. I do like the kind of earth tones that they got on here, but I'm just such a hater of JJJound. Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme. I'm not a fan of JJJound collaborations on the whole. For better or for worse, they're always pretty boring. They're always pretty lackluster. I know people love JJJound and New Balance coming together, but it's just not really for me at all. I would just pick up a GR colorway any day of the week. If you do like this, you're getting 2 993s with kind of flipped colors. one's like predominantly black and brown, the other one's predominantly Salem brown. And these are the only leaked images that we have. No idea of an exact release date, just at some point in December. We also finally got a release date for the Stash Nike Air Max 95. Again, this was supposed to be a 2025 release. They brought it back into 2024. Take a little look at them. I got a chance to peep these things at Complex Con and see that little material change. It's nice. And I think if anybody who like remembers this pair of shoes, I'm sure you're gonna love the slight change that they made. Like you can see, this is the original one. It's got that kind of like, I don't know, nylon feeling material. This one, it's a little bit more, I guess, updated. Reminds me of the same material that they used on like the Sachs shoes. They're also going to be doing the Air Force Ones. Don't forget about those. The Stash Air Force One, which I think is a little bit more in demand. This is also a December 13th release, so they're both dropping at the exact same time. I imagine they're pretty limited, although I'm not entirely sure because they did put a lot of promo into this. We also got some official images and a release date for the Adidas Fear of God Athletics Basketball 2. This is the night brown colorway in both the low top and the high top. Unfortunately, we don't have an exact release date in terms of like when in December. I would imagine very early, probably like the 5th, the 10th, something like that. But these are the two shoes that are going to be dropping. I'd like to try this low cut model, although it definitely seems pretty basic in terms of the design, like super minimal. You don't have a lot of technical aspects to it. It keeps a very Fear of God type design to it, just a lot more simple than the first version. Same thing with the highs. It's just, you know, they've got like a Velcro strap at the top, which is just like an extended version, but nothing else really different going on here. I do not think this is going to be the next big thing. I don't think Fear of God and Adidas are out of hot water with these shoes. I don't think people are going to forget about the first drop and the prices, and you could argue lack of creativity. Nike just unveiled a brand new model, which I think has some potential. This is the Air Max Muse. They've released it in this shiny metallic colorway. I actually really like the shape of these things, and I think they could be a pretty cool model, especially in the right colorway. Now, I believe this is a woman's model, so it probably will only come in women's sizing, although that hasn't been confirmed yet. We're not entirely sure. They've got two different release dates. The first one is going to be a drop through exclusive select retail partners of Nike, obviously, and that's taking place on December the 11th, so maybe look out for some raffles that pop up. And then the global release date, which I assume is like the Nike Sneakers app and a bunch of different retailers, that is January the 10th. So if you want to be an early adopter of this new sneaker model, look out for them next month. Also dropping next year, we've got the Jordan 3 Black Cats. We've got official images. The main release is going to be on January the 11th. So that's a little bit updated from what I think we found out last time. I can't really remember, but now you can see them for what they actually are, because a lot of these images are making these things look different. They do definitely have a slight blue tint to them, at least from these images, which I would assume are accurate because these are official. You can see these laces, specifically the leopard print laces, or whatever you want to call these things. I'll be interested to see if you do get extra laces with these, or if they just throw in these ones. I'd love to know from you guys, are you looking forward to the Black Cat 3s, or are you just holding out for the 4s, which should be dropping next year as well? I don't know why this image took so long to surface online, but we've got a first look at all of the unreleased Yeezy pod colorways that I guess we were gonna get, but nothing really materialized. So these are just a line of different samples. We've got some with white outsoles, which I thought was pretty interesting, and then some are like color matched, yellow on yellow, blue on blue, tan on tan, and then of course we have like the contrasting one, the black and the brown. It's just kind of weird, the whole Yeezy thing. Like they really just did not really gain traction in terms of like, if they dropped the pods, they had a lot of eyeballs on them. Like, even though the Yeezy pods aren't the most innovative and crazy pair of shoes, it's still like, you know, everybody was paying attention to them. If they followed up with some different sneakers, maybe some more clothing for like an actual brand and not just a Kanye album, there could have been a little bit of traction there, and Yeezy could have been slowly working its way back up to where it originally was. But it just kind of didn't happen. They dropped the pods and then just went silent. I think there was a lot of potential, there was a lot of opportunity for Yeezy brand to really do something, but it just, I don't know, maybe it's gonna happen in the future. We're not entirely sure, but it just seems like they just disappeared and they're not dropping anything at this point. Right, we got a release update for the upcoming The Alternate What the Duck Nike Dunk Low, which is actually inspired by Phil Knight's wardrobe, which is pretty interesting. That's something that only just came out. I guess he wears a lot of black, so they went with a black colorway. Either way, these are the official images, so you could take a look at them over here. I think we've been looking at very blurry, random, leaked ones. They're looking very good. I know a lot of people are going to be after these things. They are going to be extremely limited. Trust me, probably even more limited than the first ones, which I think only had like 5,000 pairs. So I would imagine this is going to be the same or less. So we've got a new release date. These are going to be dropping November the 28th. So next weekend, and they're only going to be dropping exclusively through the GOAT app, which the last one had the GOAT app and then Flight Club as well. These are only dropping through the GOAT app. They're also going to retail at $325. So yeah, there's definitely for people who really like this colorway that they're going to go out and pay that. Getting into some 2025 releases, we just got official images of the upcoming Travis Scott Jordan, let's call it the CJ1 T-Rex. This is the bright cactus colorway, another pair that they kind of showcased at ComplexCon, like it was in a little bit of a display. But this is them over here. Solid. I like these. I like this colorway, but I don't think it's as good as any of the other ones. Like I prefer the University Red, prefer the Sail, and definitely prefer the dark mochas over this one. But I do like how they went with Sail or like an off-white color instead of solid white, because I think that just makes it a little bit more toned down, a little bit more easy to throw on and wear. I would imagine these drop relatively soon, like maybe even springtime 2025. We're gonna have to wait and see. Either way, let me know what you think of this colorway. Is it your favorite or least favorite? This one's pretty crazy. So you know how Nike announced that they're teaming up with Tom Sachs again. They kind of forgave him. They're like, okay, people don't really care anymore. Let's start a little relationship again. And they announced that they were going to be working on the Mars Yard 3.0. Well, we just got some actual images of these things because a wear test sample was listed on sale on Depop. Now, I think these were going for like 5K on Depop. Like you could see someone just listed them up. I assume an employee who was wear testing these things, because you can see like sample. Maybe Tom Sachs himself is like, shit, I need some extra cash. Let me throw these things up on Depop. Now, this one's pretty strange because they don't have any Nike branding. So I imagine that's something to do with just the fact that these are a sample and they will eventually slap that logo on there, because I could not imagine these things dropping without the Nike logo. That would be very weird. The colorway material is not my favorite. Like the fact that it's black with this like gray meshing, not really my favorite. So yeah, either way, just thought I would show you these because that's pretty interesting. Let me know what you think about these, and let me know what you think about Nike and Tom Sachs getting back together. Speaking of Tom Sachs, they might be doing a Travis Scott Tom Sachs collaboration. Now, I'm not entirely sure the whole storyline behind this. I believe there was a t-shirt at ComplexCon that was like a collaboration that they dropped. So we're not entirely sure if it's sneakers or if it was literally just that one to kind of, hey, come on, Tom Sachs, we all forgive you. Come back. We'll get you with Travis Scott. People will completely forget about everything you allegedly did. So yeah, they're kind of bringing him into this collab sphere. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't have any information on it. This was just one of the logos that was on a t-shirt. So we'll have to wait and see. But let me know, do you think Tom Sachs and Travis Scott would go hard or not? We've got a new pair of Jordan 1 lows dropping next year. The Storm Blue colorway. That's got a preliminary release date of September the 20th, 2025. That is just so far away that I would take that with a grain of salt. But this is a mock-up by Z Sneakerhead, so I would imagine this is relatively accurate. And if it is, this is a very nice colorway, and it kind of goes with the whole Storm Blue theme. Does look like it's going to have a sailed out outsole for better or worse, or sailed out midsole rather. Also dropping in September, specifically the 9th, we're getting the Air Jordan 1 High OG Light Matter Root. Not entirely sure what that exactly means, but this is what it should look like. Some kind of brown and white pair of Jordan 1 highs. Again, still very early days for this leak, so we're going to have to wait and see. The Air Jordan 4 Cave Stone, another brown pair of sneakers. These are also going to be dropping in September, specifically the 6th. This one has a lot of people interested because they kind of look like Travis Scott, and just overall, it's a very clean pair of 4s. I think if they look exactly like this, I'm definitely after them, but again, it's far into the future, so we're going to have to wait and see. And then we just got a release date for the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red. This is the Black Tongue edition, dropping July July 26th. We've spoken about these multiple times. We don't have any images of what these are actually going to look like or anything like that, so I'm just gonna drop this here and we're gonna keep it moving. Right, now this is crazy. We all know how Nike likes to throw around lawsuits, and we also know that one of their latest lawsuits is against the shoe surgeon. But one thing we didn't know was just how brutal this is. It's absolutely insane, and it kind of makes you dislike Nike. So apparently Nike asked the shoe surgeon to make hundreds of Travis Scott Jordan 1s for Michael Rubin's white party, and then sued shoe surgeon 11 days later and told him, got you. They hit him with a freaking got him screen. Now, it was July 2024 that Nike officially started suing the shoe surgeon for $60 million in damages, which it notes are the profits the defendant generated from counterfeiting trebled along with attorney fees. Now, obviously the shoe surgeon is cooking up a response to all of this, and he's basically saying like, what the hell? You guys have asked me to do a bunch of different stuff for you. You've actually commissioned me to make shoes. Why are you suing me? It seems crazy. And this is like true. I think Nike has contacted him about doing a lot of these like really limited things, like if there's a performer, like I think he did a shoe for Usher at one point, a pair of Jordan 4s. He was doing it and Nike was involved. They can't make a special pair of shoes. They have this shoe surgeon to kind of fall back on and make those custom sneakers for all of these celebrities to wear and gain, you know, brand awareness for Nike. Either way, I had no idea that the shoe surgeon made all of these Jordan 1s. I thought Nike made them or Jordan brand. So it shows like, you know, he does do a pretty good job. It's pretty brutal to, you know, get him to make hundreds of pairs of Travis Scotts and then be like, you know what, we're suing you for doing exactly what we asked you to do. Let me know your thoughts on this. Are you with Nike or are you with the shoe surgeon? Got a little update for those Fortnite sneakers. We knew that the Jordan 1 black toes were going to be dropping in-game as like a little bit of a V-Buck purchase. But now we know that they are doing a bunch of different shoes and the prices have all leaked. Now, I don't know all of the price. I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know if this is expensive, but apparently this is very, very expensive and people are going crazy because they're like, you can get like a whole skin for the price of one pair of shoes. So you can see here we got Galaxy foam posits for 1,000, black cement 3s for 1,000, Manila 4s for 1,000, red 11s 1,000, Palomino 3s 800. Those are discounted. And then you got some like Sharks and some Cortezes. It's interesting, but these are all the prices and all of the shoes that dropped as part of the Jordan brand Nike Fortnite collaboration. Just thought I'd drop this in here because I mean, damn, $10, is that the real conversion? Because that is crazy. And also, what the hell is up with this jump, man? Why? Bro gained a bit of weight over here. He's got a gut. California Highway Patrol arrests 7 people and seized $200,000 of Nike and Jordan products in LA. Oh, sorry, just Jordan products, because every single pair in here was the Legend Blue Jordan 11s that are dropping this holiday season. So this is still going on, guys. Like, Nike has been hit over and over again for what feels like years at this point. There's been warehouse robberies, obviously, a lot of robberies with these carts that are going around filled with stock. It's absolutely crazy to see that this is still happening. They haven't plugged those holes that they have in their supply chain where people are able to access all of these products and know where they're all heading, and that way they can intercept and steal all of this product. Final story for today, we're going to talk about these sneaker prices because apparently they are about to skyrocket up. Title here, how will Trump's tariffs affect sneaker prices? Here's everything you need to know. So Donald Trump has proposed new tariffs on Chinese imports, which I think is obviously very, we could have seen this coming because a lot of products are from China. We do have a full breakdown over here, which I think was pretty interesting. Now, obviously, this article is just for sneakers, but this would hypothetically impact a bunch of different products. Like, we know these big companies, especially like, you know, Jordan, Nike, New Balance, Adidas, all of them, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, hey, we'll take the loss on this and we're still going to give you these affordable shoes or these prices that you're used to. Nah, we're passing all of these bills onto you. So they've got a nice little format over here, super straightforward. How much is this actually going to affect the price of sneakers? So everyday staples like Air Force Ones, Gazelles might see a modest price bump, but limited edition drops and hyped collabs expect steeper markups. Brands will almost certainly pass on those higher production costs onto buyers. Retail prices could jump 10 to 20% or more. For instance, a $100 pair of shoes might cost $120, while a $150 $50 pair could easily hit $165 or higher. So that's pretty significant. And we already know like some of the prices of Jordan 1s next year, like the 85s, they're going to be $250. Like, has Nike already planned that out? Or is it going to get even more expensive than that? Here is a little breakdown of like the 4 biggest ones or the 5 biggest ones and how much of their footwear production takes place in China. We've got Nike 22%, Adidas 20%, Puma 25%, New Balance 25%, Asics 28%. They ended off by saying ultimately Trump's proposed tariffs are going to have a significant effect on the sneaker industry, and everyone from the titans up top to the sneakerheads on the street will feel the ripple effects. So things just couldn't get any worse. I mean, sneaker prices have been going up, and now if they get like a little bit of a bump on the graph, it might just get to the point where people are like, I'm done. We're gonna have to wait and see how this all plays out, but it's definitely something that's very interesting and worth taking note. See what happens in 2025, because I know that there's so many must-cops for so many people. So if all of this goes through relatively quickly, we might be in for a pretty insane year next year. But that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday, guys. We do this every single Sunday, so subscribe to the channel to always stay in the loop with the latest leaks and rumors and updates. And if you want to check out another video, just click that one right over there.